astounded to be here with this many anarcho-capitalists in one room. That's definitely the way I have to start this. Mic closer, mic closer. I am still astounded that I'm in a room with this many anarcho-capitalists. Just a little background on myself. I worked with the Ron Paul 2012 campaign. It's very exciting to see the ideas of liberty keep being spread. And I'm here today with Coinapult. If you didn't get that, it's a catapult for coins. We are a Bitcoin processing company. We work with BitInstant. And I think people are starting to learn more and more about Bitcoins, which is very, very exciting. It's a great way to free your money and give you control over your finances and your wealth. You can teleport money from anywhere at any time to any person in any amount with no interference from any government or any corporation, which is very exciting. And for everybody that's worried that you can't touch a Bitcoin, you can come touch my bits at the table outside. I will be happy to let you touch a physical Bitcoin. I do have to share a quick little secret. Yeah, this is a quiet secret. I don't want you guys spreading this, but secretly, I am a ragamuffin. I know I wear a suit. I apologize for that, but I am a down-to-earth ragamuffin. And our next speaker, I believe, is a ragamuffin as well. Danny I've known for a long, long time. He's been a very, very regimented libertarian activist. He runs Ragamuffin Radio, Truth Squad TV, and he's also a real estate investor. Danny, it is a pleasure to bring you up on the stage and teach us the ways of the ragamuffin.
All right, thank you. That was a great intro. I went with my props up here. So I work on a lot of different projects. You guys all see that? That's a Peaceful Streets Project t-shirt. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Alright, I'm going to give some shout-outs because we have some really fucking amazing activists and philosophers in this room. And Tony Antonello, Mike Salvi, John Bush, Antonio Bill, I mean I can name everybody, but those guys are near and dear to my heart. They have inspired me, and I consider them brothers, so I just want to shout them out. So, being that today is 420, and right now there are about 400 activists in Philly having a smoke out in the public, in Liberty Square. Salvi, Liberty Square. It's next to the Liberty Bell. 400 activists are smoking weed next to the Liberty Bell at Independence Hall right now. So, in solidarity with them, I'm wearing this. But also because I want to talk about, I'm going to help promote Kevin Booth's new film, which is American Drug War 2. And I've seen a little preview of it, and it's going to be an amazing film. We're playing it here in the United States, in New York City, and it's going to be playing all over the country, so check it out. I'm not sure, I guess probably American Drug War 2, if you just Google that. You can get the information, and if you want to come to the New York City screening, come to truesquad.tv, we'll post up the information there. But I'm also working on a weed film. I'm going to take this, it's very uncomfortable. I'm also working on a weed film, and the great thing about Kevin Booth's film and the film that I'm working on is it concentrates on marijuana as a vegetable. Consuming marijuana by eating it, making salads, juicing the leaves. There is some amazing research that's coming out about this stuff, that it just has some amazing nutritional properties. So it's not just about getting high. By the way, you don't get high if you eat it. So if you like the idea of nutrition, but you don't want to necessarily get high, that's a good way to do it, is by juicing both the leaves and the buds. So look for that as well. So I'm also founding a chapter of Peaceful Streets here in New York City to try and combat the NYPD's racist and totally collectivist stop-and-frisk policies that are horrific. You know, Antonio mentioned it before, and I just want to shout out the statistics. So they're stopping almost 1 million people a year, and out of 100 people that are stopped, 96 people are innocent, or it's 94 people are innocent. So it's 6%. Now that 6% could be they're writing them a ticket for maybe mouthing off, or literally spitting on the ground. They're writing people tickets in their own buildings. If you're in an apartment building, and let's say you go down to the laundry room and you don't bring your ID with you, they're arresting people for trespassing in their own homes. Now the court just put an injunction on that, so they've stopped that. So, you know, that's a victory. But I'm not going to talk too much about what Peaceful Streets Project does, because Antonio went over it, but basically it's cop watch teams, and if anybody's interested in doing this, we need teams. And we're going to be doing an action probably tomorrow night. So if anybody wants to come along, talk to me or Antonio, and you know, we'll definitely hook up, exchange information. And we need people. Honestly, we need people of color as well to be involved in this, because that's the community that's affected. And the idea of cop watching or Peaceful Streets Project is to change the culture so that when you're walking down the street and you see somebody getting stopped and frisked, even if it's somebody you don't know, you automatically pull out your camera phone and start filming it. We want the culture to be, that's the norm, so that the cops constantly know that they fuck up, they're going to be on YouTube, they're going to get held accountable, they're going to be fired. So the purpose of this is twofold. The purpose is to train the culture to know how to assertively but peacefully stand up for their rights, and also to change the culture of the cops, that once they realize, you know what, we're not the only ones that control the surveillance state. Because every time they screw up, conveniently the dash cam video disappears. But when we control the surveillance state by creating our own, then they're going to be held accountable. So we're looking to change both cultures for the positive. So that's my little spiel on Peaceful Streets. So we are, so the argument is, Ray Kelly's argument is that this works. It's constitutional because we're only stopping people that are guilty or that we have reasonable suspicion are guilty. So what Ray Kelly is saying is, our police force is so fucking stupid that 96 people they think are guilty of something but are completely innocent. They're either too stupid to spot reasonable suspicion or probable cause, or they're just stopping anyone they feel like stopping in certain neighborhoods, which we know that that's really the case, regardless of what bullshit excuses Ray Kelly makes. Alright, so I am a real estate investor. I've been a broker for 12 years, an investor for a little bit less than that. Many people don't know that, because I have not invested since I woke up in 2008. You know, partially because of the crisis. I took a big hit in the 2008 crisis, which was part of the reason that led to my waking up and joining this movement. But I was a pretty successful investor before that. So, and I've also been a stay-at-home dad for the last couple of years, and it's getting to the point where my son's getting old enough now, thank you, that I need to start working again. So I was thinking about what should I do. I put together my resume. I was thinking, all right, I'll get a job in property management or something, because I kind of had like this crisis of conscience. I participated in that collapse. I was a tool that the banks used. They used the real estate industry, realtors and mortgage brokers, to perpetuate the subprime loan crisis that then they then made into derivatives and securitized and chopped up and sold, etc., etc. We all know. Ron Paul has told us all about it. So I participated in that. So I was like, I don't feel good about getting back into this business that I kind of feel like maybe based on a scam. Then I started thinking, well look, I have so much experience in this and I was very successful at it, making money. So why not use the system against itself? So kind of like a vampire, I want to drain value out of the statist economy and reinvest it into the agorist economy, into alternative economies. So this really dovetails well into what John Bush was talking about. He's talking about all types of different markets. So what I'm looking to do is, I've not heard this term before, and I'm not an intellectual property guy anyway, so I coined the phrase crowd vesting. So what I want to do, to use the Free State Project or Lone Star Libertopia as an example. Let's say the Free State Project has an operating budget of $10,000 a month. So what we would do is find a real estate investment that cash flows $10,000 a month. So a large apartment building, for instance. 150-unit building that cash flows at $10,000 a month. We crowdfund the down payment on that property. So if everyone in this room invests $10,000 or $5,000 or $1,000 and you'd be paid a dividend or interest on that, basically you'd be loaning the Free State Project whatever that amount is, and you get an interest rate. So now you're making money. The Free State Project takes that money, puts it on a down payment on a 150-unit building. They take the income from that building, and they use that as their operating cost to continue the Free State Project, or Peaceful Streets, or whatever other bid incident, or whatever other business you have. You may have a new business idea. So the plan is to create a system that is creating value, transfer it into alternative currencies, Bitcoin, because we don't want to keep using the blood money. We want to take that value out of that system and put it into Bitcoin, silver, gold, whatever it is, right? Now, that value is in the agorist market, and we continue to circulate it. So now I'm going to take that Bitcoin, if I'm making $20,000 a month on my investments, I'm going to take it into Bitcoin. Not only am I going to make more money on my investment, right, because Bitcoin is going to retain its value much better than the US dollar or silver. Not only am I going to make more money on my investments, but now I can take that and reinvest it. So if this gentleman wants to open, you have any business interest? And if you could open a business, what would it be?
Truthers Headquarters. Truthers Headquarters.
Truthers Headquarters, okay. So that's more like an educational, it's not really a business, but it's more like a charity, which is fine. We need to fund charities too. Guys, you're getting loud back there. There's a VIP room next door. You can hang out over there and chat. So, right, you want to open up a Truther Headquarters, or whatever, a radio, Liberty Movement Radio maybe, or Liberty Radio Network, or whatever it is, needs to fund themselves. You know, Derek J needs to fund his next film, right? And this is how we keep it within the agorist community. We're going to build more agorist businesses. And what did Ron Paul write and end the Fed? We're not going to end the Fed because Rand Paul's going to get elected president and introduce a bill to end the Fed. That's not going to happen. We're going to end the Fed by what? Making it irrelevant by stopping using their product. Their product, and it is a product, is the US dollar. And their product is a shitty product, it's shitty service, and we can do much better. We are doing much better. So that's a way we can drain the statist economy like vampires and use it to spread liberty, because we can put it into those educational efforts. We can put it into investing in the agorist markets. How many doing on time, Sally? 2 minutes? Alright, cool. So that's basically all I have to say. Does anybody has any questions about that? I'd be happy to take some questions. Basically what we're planning to do is creative real estate deals. You've all heard about low down payment, no money down. It's not quite no money down. That's kind of a gimmicky marketing phrase, but the way we do it is with the crowd vesting. And this is a way for people to invest in real estate. It's almost like investing in a real estate fund, but your money is backed by real estate. And it's a way that people with very little money can get into it. And Derek J, you have a question? How soon can it happen? It can start happening tomorrow. If you guys go home, wherever you're from, to your markets, and you find a deal, what we're looking for is people that are motivated to sell their properties, right? So if you go home and you find a property with a seller who's got to get out of it for whatever reason, or maybe not even that they have to get out of it. Maybe it's an older couple that owns it outright, and maybe they need income because Social Security isn't paying them enough. So maybe we can do a seller financing deal where we can offer them an income every month. We're going to pay them interest on them loaning us the money that's locked up in their property. Now we take over management of that property and we get the profit margin and then sink that into agorist. So start identifying properties and call me. Anybody else? A couple of projects that I want to do, I'll use my last minute for that. A couple of projects that I want to do is, on Staten Island, we were hit pretty hard by Sandy, certain areas, and recently, a lot of these people are getting government bailouts. They're getting 105% of their pre-storm value. The government is paying them for their houses. Well, then somebody decided, well, we need to put in a homeless shelter because we've got so many poor people that were forced out of their homes. By the way, unreported, there are estimates between 200 and 300 undocumented immigrants who were killed, and the media won't talk about it. Because they're illegals and they lived in illegal apartments, therefore they don't exist. We can't talk about that. But, so they're talking about we need a homeless shelter. Well, this community that was bragging about the fact that, oh, the community came together, the government was so slow to respond, we came together and we helped each other. They're saying we don't want a homeless shelter in our neighborhood. So they start talking about all these issues, oh, drugs, prostitution, this, that, the other thing. So I started saying, listen, that's because you're using a shitty government model of a homeless shelter. I can show you an agorist model of a homeless shelter that works, that will provide high quality services and as well as protect the community. So that's one of the projects I want to work on. Another one is, I think, because I am a conspiracy theorist, the chemtrailing issue is going to become a real big problem in the next 10 years for getting organic foods. I don't think we're going to be able to really get organic foods because they're poisoning the soils. So I think bioponics, organic hydroponics is the future of how we can maintain real organic food. So I want to invest in bioponic farms. So I think I probably used up my... So that's an example of both a charity, the homeless shelter, and a business, the bioponic farms, where we could be investing money in growing the agorist market. I'm done. Thank you. Stick around because the next guy is a real fucking badass.